Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper. And let's have a little talk with Valfar now.
I doubt that Lord Balin still lives.
There are many lamps set along the winding mining path that descends into the Silvertine Lodes, but it has been many years since they have been lit. Will you patrol the long descent and light the lamps as you go? The fires should help to drive away the enemies that have settled here, and help the dwarves to see as they work and explore. Right. So let's go down into Silvertine Town. Of course, we've got one of these rather territorial deep claws here that we'll need to deal with if it's decided that that lamp is its territory. There we go. Alright, they said there are 9 lamps, so therefore we must light them as we go down. Here's lamp number 2. There's lamp number 3. So run into a few of these. We have a nice path here at least. Now, this goblin is very annoying. So I will take care of him. Alright. Probably should use a sure thing like final word in order to stop that, but I always forget about that one when the pressure is on. Someday I really should remember it. Let's take care of one of these little drakelings. And we'll be going all the way down this long platform, which somehow is still intact. It's amazing how well the dwarves work with wood. It's not exactly the first material I associate with Moria. I'd have expected them to do much more with metal and stone, but I suppose wood has its advantages also. Now this is the way of smiths. Well, this leads into that passage we saw in the instance earlier, and then halfway through it goes to the Redhorn Lodes. Actually, while I am here, I think it's time for a little side trip, because the Redhorn Lodes are a real pain to get to. But there's a 10th one down there! No, you can't light the 10th one. We only wanted 9. Alright. So what I'm going to do is to go into the way of smiths and make a quick detour at the Redhorn Lodes. And the main reason for doing that is to make sure that I can get there easily, though it's probably not as necessary these days as it used to be. And there's the Heart of Fire there. You remember that little passage? Now, unfortunately, in the way of smiths, you can't use your goat, but I can use it once I get back into the Redhorn Lodes here. Anyway, I'm just going here to tag the goat, so I have it available. And of course more rails. I think this way. Now of course I will run into several orcs here. Actually, this passage is relatively light when it comes to orcs. Most of the others, but if you just turn a little bit that way, you start to run into many of those orcs. But you also run into things like spiders and stuff like that down here. And it's also very easy to get lost here. That's the other aspect of this location. Like making sure you do this turn properly, because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself in the wrong spot. It's like this is where one always forget which is which. Actually, I think this leads deeper into it, if I remember correctly. Usually this bridge is patrolled by spiders, or actually no, this is right. Here's some cave. Yeah, okay, yeah, this was the... Here, so here these are all 56. So obviously I don't want to go and start getting into some fights with these. So I certainly don't want to go down to where I'm going to run into any orcs or any spiders or other things that attack you on sight. Instead, I will take this little stairway up, over, and you could find some dwarves here. And this goes up to Orc. You used to have to go and take that long way up there this way, but now they give you a little door you can go through in order to get into the Orc Watch.
Welcome to Khazad-dûm.
So now if I ever need to get into Orc Watch, I could just take a goat here instead of having to worry about going through the long route. So I suspect I'll need to take the long route in the end, in any case, since that's how the quest would naturally take me. But if you're going to be bypassing some quests, that's the quick way of handling it. Now, we'll cut back over at the Silvertine Lodes, where we will turn in our little quest for Thalfar. We are back at the camp, and let's see what Thalfar has to say.
Dark things dwell now in Moria.
Thank you, Pinestone. The lights will be a great boon to our efforts in the Silvertine Lodes.
Many foul things dwell in the depths of the mountains. I fear the orcs will be the least of our troubles.
Ooh, deed completed. Okay. You have helped us a fair amount here in Menenberej Pinestone. While you were exploring, an explorer named Sori passed through to his way south, and he asked for the assistance of anyone I could spare. I told him I would apply to you upon your return. Will you seek out Sori and head southward? Thank you for volunteering me. I'm sure I'd be more than capable of volunteering myself in the future. Dwarves. When in doubt, get the elf to do it. That's the way it works. And how far is this? Oh, we're getting close. And there is Sori right up there. And he better have something interesting or he will be sorry. Boy, it's names they're coming up with for these dwarves. Hello.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Are you sorry? Sorry, I had to say that. Ah, you must be the famous Pinestone, of whom I have heard so much praise spoken. They are singing your valor from Helene to the roots of the Silvertine. Stay a moment, and I am sure we can do some good work here. I presume "we" was just a polite way of putting it.
Abide here a moment and speak with me.
Well, as you can see, the shaft just near me is utterly infested with these vile glowworms. Perhaps you can do me a good deed and smash these ugly crawlers. And while you're at it, collect some of the luminescent goop that gives them their eerie glow. I believe I can fashion some of that goo into a torch of sorts, which will light the way for me in this accursed dark. Luminescent goop. Alright.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
Of course, the real reason I have come to this forsaken tunnel is to search for mithril along the dark forgotten paths. Up where the glowworms infest the mine shaft, I believe there will be plenty of ore deposits to harvest. Will you bring me a sampling of what you collect? So I will need to harvest ore from deposits of the mine shaft. Alright, but mostly collect goop. Alright. Can you loan me your goop? You don't want to part with it, huh? Well... I'm afraid those dwarves insist I can't refuse them. Don't know why I can't refuse them. I mean, they always talk so badly about elves. So it's a wonder any of them come down here. Alright. Here's some yellow traced ore sample. I'm checking a well, actually, maybe that's not that ludicrous. Okay. Yellow trace probably means... Well, okay. It depends on what shade of yellow, and whether that means gold, or whether they means sulfur. Now, if it's a metallic yellow and thus gold, and gold often appears with silver and other noble metals are often found together, so therefore, yeah, I suppose it is possible yellow traced will have silver, maybe some Moria silver with it too. Now, I didn't think of that before. So I was thinking checking a yellow ore would have been rather far-fetched. And he's going to say something like, "Bah! Nothing but gold in here!" Only a dwarf will say something like that, right? Well, maybe if it weren't Moria, they'd get more excited over gold. Alright, here we go. Alright, that's... Oh, here's some more goopy. First goofy, now goopy. Sorry. Hey. Hey, who invited the drakes? Who invited an entire army? Okay, we don't need both of you. One of you can go to the side and wait your turn. I'm just here to get Goop. I'm sure there's plenty of death to go around. You needn't be so anxious. See? It's a fair trade. I give you lightning, you give me Goop. See? Completely fair exchange. I know you think my trading skills are completely shocking, but that's your opinion. Alright, now. Am I really? Nah, nowhere near. Interesting place to find a goblin. I don't think that's a map segment I have ever gotten in all my times in doing Moria. Oh, there is the last piece of ore. And once we do that, oh, okay, well, that would be how we will get to him. But now, I need to get back down to this guy. Okay, now all these glowworms seem to have respawned. In case I didn't kill enough coming up, now I get to kill a few more going down. Real observant bunch, aren't they? Really observant. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I understand it. You want to fight. I killed your brother, right? So now you're upset. Or you want to be a Goop donor. I'm sorry, the donations booth is closed at the moment. Come back later. Alright, here's your Goop.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Ah, lovely! Well, perhaps not lovely, but you know what I mean. I can smear this Goop on anything and it will provide a light for me as I wander in the dark. You have probably saved me from many a false step. Alright? Good. What was that? Ooh. Congratulations.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
Hello again, Pinestone. Let me take a look, eh? No mithril that way. Well, perhaps there's another spot nearby.
If we are to find Mithril in Khazad-dûm, we will first have to deal with the orcs.
Yes, of course. Yes, the mine shaft may be fairly empty of good prospects, but perhaps the very tunnel around us may provide a better yield. Will you search the surrounding area once more? And again, I will look at your harvest for signs of mithril. My heart yearns to see just the slenderest vein. I hope such a discovery will kindle in my folk is beyond description. Alright, and next time in Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper, starting with that node right there, we will start to sample silvery ore. And perhaps some silvery ore has some hope of yielding mithril.